sir.
You have done your manufacturing engineering, then sociology,
Yes.
right? So, can you tell us about some prominent women who are at the topmost levels in spite of their deprived conditions across the country? Tell us few names.
Women
Yeah,
who
yeah,
had
women.
been
Yeah,
deprived.
only, yeah.
Sir, mm, there was one lady from South India. I am forgetting her name. She was awarded Padma Shri, and she was 80, 90 years old, and she was awarded because she has been naturally farming and creating awareness around the tribal areas. And so I can name some IS officers who had been.
Yeah, yeah, be it any field, maybe in administration, maybe in social work, politics, business.
So,
Okay, tell me one name, one very prominent person who is a woman. She has decided to give her all property to the charity. She is a big tycoon.
Sudha Murthy.
Not Pradhanmantri, sir. She is having daughter, everything she is having, but that lady doesn't have any issue.
So I can recall Mother Teresa who has done the same. Apart from that, I am not able to recall the name of the lady.
Okay. The next question related to women. Suppose you will be posted in remote part of the Bihar. How can you uplift the girls sections out there so that they can be the part of education, and not only education, the excellence of education, so that your name will be remembered for many years, that an officer who had visited this place and she has done some unique kinds of things. She was having multidimensional approach toward the upliftment of the women. How can you indigenously and your own kinds of things which can be utilized there?
So education sector में सबसे पहले मेरा what will I do is that making sure that the government schools that is there in my district is working really well. For example, the Delhi school is a very excellent example that even government school can provide a very high quality education. So first of all, in my district I will ensure that the education for education sector schools are at very good condition. And for making sure that the girls reach to these schools, I will make sure the transportation system are very at place, so that the commutation issues that happen for long distance parents don't allow their children to girls to go that far. So I will ensure that that commutation is at place. Third, sir, I will make sure that the basic culture that is there in the district, for example, if the district is famous for something, for some art and culture, I will make sure that the girls are aware of that, are promoting that. For example, if Madhubani painting is there in the northern districts of Bihar, I will make sure that girls are involved in that painting culture, promoting that at all India level. So it's just not that I will be providing education. I will try to make sure that everything is there at place, so that the girls in my district are not just if they are not able to get a job in out of education, they are able to self-employ themselves or that.
The last question from my side: Ma or Beti? How can you compare? When Beti becomes Ma, how can you compare?
Ma or Beti? So I think there is no other. There can be no other person who can be as sacrificing as a mother. So even if a daughter becomes a mother, she will remain a daughter of her mother first, and there can be no comparison between a daughter and a mother, I think, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Earlier, when there was discussion on Nobel Prize, you said that today literature Nobel was announced, But as far I know, today Peace Nobel was announced. Literature Nobel was already announced yesterday.
So I read it in the newspaper, that's why.
A newspaper publishes whatever happens on
Yesterday.
day before.
Day before.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are having sociology as your optional. What is Sanskritization?
So Sanskritization is a process in which the lower caste people try to uplift their status by emulating the lifestyle of upper caste people.
What kind of lifestyle they try to copy or emulate?
For example, they will emulate the vegetarianism, they will leave eating non-vegetarian foods. Teetotalism, they will try to eat, drink tea.
Who gave this theory?
So M.N. Srinivas.
M.N. Srinivas. Reading novel is your hobby.
Yes, sir.
Which novel, recently which novel you have read?
So recently I have purchased Man Meanings to Life by Viktor Frankl, and I was reading currently that only.
What is it about?
So it's about a person who has been taken into an Holocaust and during the World War II, and his survival story and how he found meaning to his life, and then later after his survival became a psychologist himself and started dealing with people's problems.
Okay, last question from my side. How 3D printing, you are having graduation in manufacturing engineering, how 3D printing is going to change the world?
Yes, sir. So earlier what used to happen, the manufacturing process used to be either through cutting or forging, means we used to take a raw material.
How it will change the world? I am not asking about
Yes,
the
sir.
process.
So first of all, 3D printing is a very material saving process. So for example, the wastage is very less in 3D printing compared to the earlier conventional process. And second, sir, creating